Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. Thank you so much for being here. So, what is traditionally known by many as the holiday season is definitely upon us at this point. And in midlife, I know there can be many unique challenges around the holidays and your traditions and things like that. And so I thought I would to give some insight on what some ways that you can make your holidays go a little smoother, hopefully, feel a little better, hopefully, and just honor yourselves throughout them if you're struggling with some of these things. So a lot of people in midlife right now are dealing with death or grief of a close loved one. And that, of course, can change the whole scene with the holidays, right? Because you have a missing person from the dinner table, or we just are more profoundly aware of who's absent when we gather as families, who's no longer with us in the same way, and that kind of thing, which can trigger a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness, and so forth, and a time of reflection. Anyway, the end of a year is often a time we look back over the last year, and then of course some of those traumatic times we experience really come to the surface in a very profound way. And if you've had somebody die, it really can be a time where grief really upsurges. And so that's one thing that many midlifers are going through, of course. And then another is divorce or transition. One of the biggest seasons of divorce in American society is the end of the year, the beginning of a year, kind of this time period right through here. And so people are either, they've made the decision to get a divorce and they're in the process, or they are thinking strongly about it and suffering through that whole stress of that possibility. Or perhaps you're divorced now and this is your first holiday season in that new reality in your life. And that's going to bring up changes with, again, family dynamics. It may make things different with your kids if they have to split time between you and your former spouse, or maybe traditions you had with your former spouse or partner. Now you're wondering, what do I do with myself? In a different way. And if you're used to having a love partner in your life, even if the relationship was really dismantling, it is different to be single again. I know, I've been through this. And so if you're in that going through that kind of thing, that can be very difficult. Another major experience with midlifers is the empty nest, and how that can change, again, family dynamics, family traditions with the children now adults and out of the house, and making maybe traditions of their own, or having different ideas about how they want to spend their holiday breaks or whatever, that may not include you as they usually have, and or what to do with those that come home for a month when they haven't been around for a while, and how do the rules change, or how do the dynamics change. And so that's another big thing that can arise for people. And then some of you, of course, are caregiving, and the stress involved in the caregiving is generally pretty demanding, pretty high, and you may just be so exhausted and not feel like you have one more ounce of energy to give to anything, even the holidays, in a way that you usually do, or perhaps you have your own health concerns that are kind of compromising your ability to participate in the holidays as much as you used to or would like to. So those are some common ones. It's not all of them, of course. Some of you are going through financial challenges. Some of you are going through, job transitions, changes, things like that as well. And there could be a laundry list of other things, but those are some of the main issues I find midlifers having during the holiday season. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can navigate these changes at such a interesting, sometimes, usually, hopefully, a special time of year. So number one is your feelings. Okay. All these start with the letter F. I don't know why I do that. It makes it easier for me to remember. I'm hoping it makes it easier for you guys to remember. So if you're jogging or driving or, can't take notes, maybe these will land a little easier in your mind if they all start with the same letter. So F is for feelings. And so no matter what you're going through in your lives right now, please, acknowledge and honor your feelings. I know you hear me say that all the time, but it's so important because we often, in just regular life, we're not told this, oh, go honor your feelings, feel your feelings. They're all okay. Honor them, express them. Ugh. You don't hear that in the grocery store or when you're out, having, joining other friends or team members in some kind of meetings. So I'm here to tell you again and again and again that your feelings are your own. They are all valid. They're not always enjoyable, of course, but they are valid, and it's important to let yourself feel your feelings. The trick is to find ways to express them in a healthy manner that doesn't cause more destruction in your life or anybody else's. So have your feelings. Yes, be sad. If you're sad, be sad. If you're grieving, grieve. If you're angry that something didn't work out this year, went completely haywire, it's okay to be angry. If you're scared in your life and you don't know what to think about what next year's going to look like and you feel uncertain, this is all okay. I know it's not fun, but it is okay. We are wired to feel a lot of different kinds of feelings at any given time, and you can feel these difficult feelings and still have a good holiday season if you create it in such a way. So one of the ways is to let yourself express your feelings in some healthy way. Maybe you need a therapist. Maybe you need a meeting with your, pastor or rabbi or spiritual advisor. Maybe you have a really good friend you can lean into and just tell your story and talk it out with that really good friend that's a great listener. Or your spouse or your kids or whatever's appropriate and helpful to you, but expressing that way. Maybe you're someone who gets your feelings out through writing. I have friends who write poetry to express their feelings. Maybe you like to journal. Maybe you need to write some letters to people to get to purge some of your feelings. There's a great deal of people who manage well and navigate their feelings well through writing. Others are more physical about their feelings and want to jog it out, lift weights to kind of exert physically to release some tension and stress in the body. Some want to bang on pillows, ride their bicycles, whatever it is. If there's a physical expression for you that really feels like you're moving that energy that feels really difficult in your body, great. Others, it's spiritual practices, prayer, meditation, yoga, reading things that give you comfort or inspiration, just whatever, but release, please, those feelings. Let them be, for sure. Honor them. F, flexibility. One of the greatest things you can do, especially if you're under great stress or duress, emotionally or physically, as your life is evolving due to some of these major changes, is to remain flexible about how your holidays might need to shift to accommodate people in a new way, flexible about your expression of your own belief system or holiday. flexibility about what you could find satisfaction in this year, what really is going to be meaningful to you this year with the holidays. Or flexibility may look like you just checking out this year and not doing holidays at all. That's another valid choice that you can make. That your other family members may need flexibility. Your kids might need greater flexibility as they are young adults, if they're making new decisions about their lives, or if your family has split up and everybody needs to divide their time. Your flexibility is going to be a wonderful gift you can give others, but also to yourself. Because if you get more rigid, which is one of the things we humans tend to do when we're stressed, we get more rigid, we're actually less comfortable, we're more stressed out, and usually things don't go well. Okay, so you can remain flexible about what your holiday looks like, or your holiday season, how it looks, how it flows, and how it might be different and what might remain the same. I think you will be happier. Number 3, please have fun. Have some fun. I mean, no matter what you're going through, whatever stressors you're facing this holiday season, or what kind of year you've had, that's been one of the hardest, most challenging years of your life. If right now you're really going through a lot, it's okay to have fun. Or you're grieving someone you loved, it's still okay to have fun. You can grieve and be sad or angry that, something didn't work out, or scared to death about the future, and have some fun. So your fun there may be some traditions that you're able to maintain despite the changes in your life and in your world this year. Or you may need to create some new kinds of fun. So when I got divorced, the first year I was divorced, well, we were in the process of a divorce during the holiday season. We had 2 teenagers at the time, and they had long-standing traditions with my ex-husband's family. And I promised them that those would not be compromised by me divorcing their father. It was one of my promises to my kids and to my ex and to his parents. And I held that promise. And so what that meant at the time, so that first Thanksgiving and that first Christmas, my children, wanted to be with their dad and his family for the day, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, but they wanted to come home to their house with me after. And so I didn't have time to go drive 4 hours to get to my side of the family, be with them for the day, and then drive 4 hours back to get home to be with the kids overnight. And so I knew I needed my holiday days to look different. And I thought, okay, what can I do, even though we're going through this really difficult season in our lives? And I was grieving the loss of my marriage. I was grieving the loss of all my in-laws whom I loved so much. I was grieving that I would not be with my children, every holiday necessarily from now on. It would be split for sure, at least. And I would miss many, many, many actual holiday days with my kids in the future. Even though I was grieving all of that, I thought, okay, I need to make these days good for myself. And how can I do that? So one of them, I thought, okay, I'm going to take myself out on a date. And so I got dressed and cleaned up and, nice jeans and a sweater or whatever, and went to Kansas City. And I took myself to the movies, and then nearby was a bookstore. And I went to that and had a treat. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back and see another movie, because there were lots of movies out. I hadn't been to movies in forever. And so I went to 2 movies and a bookstore and had a treat at a little dessert cafe place, and just had a really good time with myself. It was an odd holiday for me. It wasn't like any other holiday I'd ever had, but it was fun. I had fun and got myself home in time to be with the kids. And so they had what they needed the most. and what I promised they could have. And I had fun. I really, truly did. And then a Christmas day, I'll never forget. I did another kind of fun for me. And you guys might laugh really hard, but I did do this. Like I stayed in my sweats all day long, stayed home. I made homemade potato soup, which is one of my favorite things. And I made a pot of it, and I just ate a bowl every once in a while when I feel like eating a bowl of it. Pop some popcorn, watched Christmas movies I'd seen a gazillion times that I loved, and worked on a jigsaw puzzle, a great big 1,000 piece, jigsaw puzzle all day long. And I was so happy. Like this was so fun. I know you're like, you are a nerd. Yes, I am. Anyway, I turned these days, and I've had many holidays like this, where I needed to, figure out how to make the days special for myself, or nice or fun or relaxing or whatever. And they look totally different from what they looked like before. So it is possible, no matter what. I promise there's a way. And your recipe might look totally different from mine, and that's fine. I'm just saying, no matter what's going on with you in your life, hard changes, transitions, pain, grief, stress, please make sure you're carving out your kind of fun, whatever that is, as part of this season. The next F is faith. Okay, so I mean this in many ways. For some of us, there's a ton of spiritual or religious traditions behind these holidays that we are celebrating, right? That there's a lot of meaning and significance around them that might matter to you a great, great deal. And so I want to make sure that you do not get lost from all of that in your stress, and that you lean into those belief systems, those whatever that really can give you comfort right now, or give you hope for the future, or just give you peace in your heart about all your circumstances and so forth. So don't forget your faith tradition if it has been a comfort to you and it's been a guiding light to you. So please express that part of yourself as part of this holiday season, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's going to temple, whether that's going to prayer groups, whether it's, attending some kind of spirituality retreat, silence retreat, meditation retreat, whether it's, going Christmas caroling, whether it's, whatever it is, attending some kind of mass or service, just whatever. Please let your faith come on in and do its thing for you, because most belief systems, whatever yours are designed to give you hope, to give you strength, to comfort you, to help you to know there is a greater love in our lives watching out for you. And this season is no exception, even though it's a tough, tough, tough time. You are not alone. So remember those things that provide great comfort to you and hope for the future. And then the last one I'm going to say is first. The last is first. First, number one. And what I mean by this is I want you to think of yourself first also in this holiday season. And what I mean by that is who cares about everybody else? It's all about me, me, me. That's not what I would never say that. But what I do mean is to really think carefully and spend some time as you approach these last few weeks of the year, going, okay, what do I really need? What do I really want? What would make the end of this year, this season, feel like an uplift to me? What would help me through this season in my life the most? Like, what do I need? Do I need time with others, or do I need time to myself? Do I need to stay home, or do I need to travel if that's possible for me? Do I need to, is this the job for me? Do I need to consider a change? Do I need more downtime, more rest, or do I need to be more social? Am I isolating myself too much? Do I need to get some professional help, or am I sustained by the things I'm currently doing and ways I'm taking care of myself? What would self-care look like to me throughout this season? These are the kinds of things that I'm talking about when I'm saying first. Okay, so feelings, deal with your feelings. Flexibility, let it be different if it needs to be, or it may need to be, things may need to shift this year in some ways. Have fun, old fun, new fun, traditions, or make new traditions. Faith, don't forget about your faith. And first, remember to think about those things first. First and foremost, what you really need, what will help you the most, because as you take care of yourself really well through this holiday season, that is a nice jump start into a healthier new you in a healthier new year. And of course, we want to start strong when the new year comes. It can be a whole new chapter, a whole new season, a whole new experience, all of that. But we start now to move into that time to have that great jump start. So no matter what you're going through, know that I am with you through this season. I intend to be here for you every week with this podcast. And of course, I have ongoing group coaching programs. I do have some private coaching slots available as well. If you think a one-on-one deeper dive into your life with the support, accountability, and expertise of a coach could really help you move your life, from where you are now to where you really want to be. And I also am offering a free masterclass right now called How to Love Yourself Fully and Live on Your Terms in Midlife Without Guilt. Without guilt. What a concept. Loving ourselves without guilt. Because I'll tell you, in all these years of working with people, the number one thing I find with midlife women is they don't love themselves enough. It's amazing how much this is a struggle. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to create a whole class on it and give it out for free. So please go watch it. Go register for it. All you've got to do is go to cindydwhitmer.com/love yourself. And I will put that link, of course, in the show notes as well. I can't think of a greater gift to give yourself this season than loving yourself more. So please go check that out. And let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you want in this podcast. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.